time, but it's time you pick up your phone. You won't be worth my while. Me and you won't work out. Pick it up, pack it up, get a cab and go. It's not your fault, my baby. It's not on you, my baby. I'm just not the right kind of girl for you. You deserve somebody who's loving you. You shouldn't call me later. Promise it's for the better. I'm just not the right kind of girl for you. Cause I got a rule. I hold on to my heart. Share with nobody. I don't want nobody else. Yeah, I hold on to my heart. Give it up for nobody. I just keep it to myself. I ain't got room for love. I don't need stars above. All I need is my precious space. Yeah, yeah.
Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Now, today, guys, I will be talking about trending topics. I will be giving you guys some updates. So that's what we got going on. Happy Friday. Hey, Mama Bees, thank you so much for being here, my moderator, and thank you so much for all you do. Hey, Sharon Gottbalt, thank you so much for being here. Hey, Paula, happy Friday to you, and thank you so much for being here. Now, guys, let's get into it. I will probably be staying on here a little bit longer than I normally do, just because there is a lot going on, okay? So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to do an update on the Halle Bailey and DDG situation, okay? And one thing I want you guys to know, like when you're covering information and you go to your sources, like there is so many people covering the same information and sometimes everybody don't get it right, okay? So, when it comes to the Halle Bailey and DDG situation, some platforms or networks, whatever, they say certain things and then others say other things. So I wanted to go ahead. I really don't want to backtrack, but I want to go ahead and share with you guys and just clear some things up on Halle Bailey and DDG. So let me just quickly read you the article that goes more into details about what they got going on. And then after I do that, I kind of don't want to talk too much on this situation because it's so unfortunate because now all of their dirty laundry is being aired when they could have just learned how to co-parent together. So no matter how you look at this situation, no matter whose side you're on, it's a bad situation for everybody involved. No matter which side you decide to take, it's just a bad situation overall. So let me just go ahead and share my screen so that I can definitely put out the information that you guys need to hear. And Mama Bees is saying banner, banner, banner. My banner is on the screen. And also, guys, if you would like to donate to the channel, my Cash App is also scrolling on the screen. It's the Network Specialist. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get into it, guys. Just for anybody who, have a difference of opinion and wanted to correct me on what I said on my live on yesterday. Okay. So, yes, Mona Bees. And shout out to ABC News because that's where I got it. So let me just make sure you guys can see it. Yes. Okay, perfect. So a lot of times when you just share on Instagram, it's just a brief synopsis of what's going on. But if you actually share an article, which takes a lot of time, and today I got time, okay? So it says DDG seeks sole custody of son with Haley Bailey granted temporary protection. Okay. So the point I was trying to make yesterday is that Halle Bailey was awarded the permission to be able to take her son, out of the country while she's filming this movie. Okay. So she was granted the okay to be able to do that. And he tried to file for temporary full custody, and that is what was denied. So it says Haley Bailey, ex DDG, has been granted a temporary restraining order against her weeks after the actress was granted her own temporary restraining order against DDG over allegations of physical and verbal abuse. So the reason why I'm reading this entire article is because I want to make sure that it's clear that DDG was granted a temporary restraining order against Halle Bailey. Okay. What they denied was for him to have temporary custody of his son. Okay. So was granted her very own temporary temporary restraining order against DDG over allegations of physical and verbal abuse. DDG 27, whose real name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., filed for a restraining order against the Little Mermaid actress 25 on Wednesday. The filing comes 3 weeks after Bailey requested sole legal and physical custody of the pair's son, Halo. In her petition last month, Bailey said she was seeking permission to take Halo with her to film in Italy. DDG, a rapper, YouTuber, and Twitch streamer, filed a motion this week at the last minute requesting an emergency hearing asking for sole legal and physical custody of their son and for the court to restrict Bailey from traveling internationally with Halo. The court denied that request until hearing could be held on the matter. DDG also claimed in the declaration he filed that he endured instances of physical abuse and coercion. He claimed Bailey poses an immediate threat to my safety and emotional well being, and more importantly, to the stability and safety of our son in the filing. DDG specifically claimed Bailey allegedly routinely used emotional coercion, including but not limited to threats of self harm when he attempted to leave their relationship, allegedly, weaponized our pregnancy with threats that she would abort our baby should I not reconcile or accede to her demands, and allegedly invaded his privacy according to the declaration. And he included third party statements from his mother, Tanya Granberry, and her fiance, George Charleston, to try and support his claims. Tanya Granberry claimed in a declaration filed with DDG's TRO request that she and Charleston allegedly allegedly discovered several AirTags, which she claimed were left behind by Bailey, and alleging it was a clear and deliberate pattern of unauthorized surveillance and stalking of her son. On Wednesday, the court granted a temporary order of protection for DDG against Bailey, ordering her not to, in part, harass, assault, stalk, impersonate, or surveil DDG. The court denied his request for no contact and stay away orders until a hearing. DDG's lawyer, Larry M. Bachman, told Good Morning America that the custody related issues regarding DDG and Bailey's son are pending and that DDG remains committed to resolving them through the appropriate legal channels, not the court of public opinion. Bachman stated that a hearing on both requests for domestic violence restraining orders is set for June 24th. Attorneys and representatives for Bailey did not immediately respond to a request for comment about the temporary restraining order against her. In her petition last month, Bailey accused DDG of starting drama and bad mouthing her to his fans. She also alleged that DDG had been physically and verbally abusive with her since their split in 2024, which she claimed was due to DDG's temper and lack of respect towards me. She also claimed in a declaration included with her TRO request that incidents of physical abuse allegedly occurred before their son was born. According to the declaration, the actress claimed that when Halo is in DDG's care, their son is usually left with DDG's mother. I cannot keep living like this, Bailey stated at the time. I never know when he is going to demand our son be in his mother's care and whether I will be subjected to his threats and abuse. Bailey also stated that she wants Halo to be close with DDG's family, but said DDG should be present instead of simply leaving Halo with his family for days. And that's it. It ended on that note. And this is what I'm going to say about the matter. And let me come back over here. Um, what I will say on the matter is, again, they've been to court. It's been said and done. He was, granted a protection order, and so was she, but she was allowed to take her son to Italy while she films this movie. And I just pray that in the future, at some point, these two young people will be able to co parent with each other without putting all of their business out there in the streets, because at this point nobody wins, because she's looking bad, he's looking bad. So really, what did they accomplish? Okay, so hopefully they'll learn to work together so that they can keep us out of the group chat and they'll be able to resolve their personal issues. Okay, that's that on that. And Mama B said, please like the video, share, and join the conversation. You can donate to the channel, Cash App, the network specialist. You can gift memberships, send super chats, and also super stickers. Absolutely. And Mama B's also said these young ladies need to be more discerning when picking a partner. That part, Mama B's, I absolutely agree with that. So the next story we're going to move on to is, let's see what I want to do next. Let's actually talk about Britt Eady. Yes, let's talk about Britt Eady. Okay, so guys, if you don't already know, I went live on yesterday evening around, well, actually, it was about 9 o'clock because it was late. And most of you guys know I don't do nights and weekends just to protect my mental health and just to have some time off because I do have a lot of responsibilities in my personal life as well as a full-time job. So I love being consistent, but I kind of break things up so that, everything is balanced in my life and nothing is too overwhelming. So, unless it's just out of the blue, whatever, I usually don't go live on nights and weekends, okay? Just to be able to balance everything, enjoy my personal life, and be able to make everything work. And Mama Beast also said, yes, that's what we're getting ready to talk about. So, guys, I'm getting ready to share my screen so that we can talk about what has since happened since I went live last night to tell you guys that Britt Eady did not show up to the reunion. Okay. I was pretty crunk just because Britt Eady almost has single-handedly ruined this show, but we're going to get into some more details. Let me just go ahead and read an article for you guys. And let me say this, guys. The reason why I chose the article that I did to read because there is so many different networks and platforms that are talking about this particular situation. There's TMZ, there's MSN, there's TMZ, MSN, Gossip, which is where I'm going to read from only because they have updated their information as recently as 13 minutes ago. So, to try to get the latest and the most updated information, we're going to go with Gossip, okay? So, let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get into it. Because everybody have their own version of the story. Okay. And guys, I see people are listening in the bushes and that is totally okay. I watch videos in the bushes all the time. I totally get it, especially if you're at work, but please say hello when you come in. It's just, just show some respect. You're watching the content and just like the video, okay? I really do appreciate it because that helps to push my videos into the algorithm. So let's get into it. Britt Eady files 20 million lawsuit against Bravo over photo scandal, accuses network of sexual harassment, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Okay. And again, this was updated at 12:27 p.m. on today. So most of the articles, they ran like 16 hours ago. And I'm trying to give you guys the latest and the greatest updated information. So that's why I chose to go with this particular article. And shout out to Boss Up, because that's where I got it from. So it says, in a shocking move, Britt Eady has filed a 20 million lawsuit against Bravo, NBC Universal, and production companies True Original and Endemol Shine North America, claiming she was defamed and emotionally harmed by a sexually explicit image Kenya Moore displayed at her salon opening. At first, reported by The Independent, Eady, 37, filed the lawsuit Thursday in New York State Supreme Court. And keep in mind, guys, Thursday was when the reunion was being filmed. So she chose to wait to the last minute to file this lawsuit on the same day that the reunion was going to air. It says, alleging defamation, sexual harassment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and the creation of a hostile work environment. The claims stem from the June 2024 taping of the series and its subsequent airing in April of 2025 during an episode titled About Last Night. According to the reality star, Bravo allowed viewers to infer that she was depicted in the sexually explicit photo, which we have since learned that she said was not her. But let's continue. This story is still developing. Below this line, the original story begins. And that's Miss Britt Eady. Shortly after skipping the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, Britt Eady dropped a bombshell about the explicit photos Kenya Moore revealed during her salon launch, alleging that she was not the woman seen in them. Not only that, but a recent update to Edie's Instagram account is fueling rumors she's leaving the show, and RHOA fans are in a frenzy. And I can agree with that. I'm one of them, okay? On Thursday, Edie explained that the events of the season devastated her, prompting her to bow out of the Andy Cohen hosted Sit Down. She also made a shocking claim the explicit images shown on the show weren't actually of her. So they're going to go a little bit into what she said. As everyone is now aware, I'm not attending the reunion. This was my decision. The 37-year-old celeb pinned on her Instagram. The events of this season have devastated me, and while I cannot say much right now, I do want to set the record straight about one thing. The graphic sexual photo surrounding the events in episode 5, that photo was not me. Edie claimed that she never saw the photos at the time, but was made aware of the sexually explicit images that Moore unveiled. And guys, I'm going to use the terms that they are using, whether this video gets monetized or not, because I just really want to keep it real and I want to make sure you guys can understand exactly what I'm saying. Explicit images that Moore unveiled, which she claimed almost cost her insurance license, the lies. The shocking photo presentation allegedly showing Eady engaged in a sexual act shared by ROA veteran ultimately resulted in Moore's exit from season 16. Based on what I was told, I assumed that it was somehow a photo of me. Hint, hint. Why would you assume that unless there are photos of you out there? Which is why I reacted the way that I did. She explained, I do not know who was in that photo, but upon seeing it for the first time recently, I now know it was not me. So this is basically showing what she posted on Instagram. And then they went on to say, before signing off, Edie said she was looking forward to seeking accountability and moving past the dark part of her life. Britt Eady also removed Roa from her social media bio, which I talked about that on my video on last night. And guys, if you haven't seen my video from last night, please go back and watch it because you're going to hear a lot of the same stuff. And then you're going to get my reaction to finding out that Britt did not go to the reunion. Okay. So again, she removed the Real Housewives of Atlanta from her Instagram bio, sparking speculation that she may not return for the next season. The rumors gained traction when a source close to Bravo series told People on Thursday that the reality TV newcomer chose to skip the reunion taping due to tensions with her castmates. And to me, that's really what it was. It wasn't so much about this lawsuit. I think the lawsuit came into play, as a way for her to bail out. Just, you know what I'm saying? Change the narrative, basically. Meanwhile, a second source claimed that Moore 54 wasn't invited by Bravo to attend the reunion at all. On X, Moore appeared to confirm those claims, telling her fans that she was disappointed she was not included. She noted, however, that she looked forward to being back on Bravo in the future. So, guys, this is what Kenya had to say. I'm disappointed to not be a part of ROA 16 reunion taping today. Please know I take full accountability for my actions and deeply apologize to all those affected, including Brittany, the cast, crew, guests, and viewers. I look forward to seeing you all back on Bravo. What do you think of the latest drama between Eady and Moore? Okay. So that's pretty much what's going on. Britt is suing Bravo and everybody that's associated with Bravo. Now, guys, let me ask you this. Why do you think that Britt Eady wanted to file this case in New York? Let me just say this. Bravo, the network, is located in California. Do you think it was because she didn't want to, file this in Atlanta because she did not want, everybody and their mama from Atlanta showing up to watch this play out in court? It's either that or it could be because Truly Entertainment is located in New York. So that could potentially be the reason why she wanted to file in New York, or again, to keep the heat off of her when it comes to this lawsuit being played out in court. And let me stop sharing and come back over here. And Mama B says Bravo should have never aired that taping. They also need to vet these ladies more thoroughly. Exactly. And it's also being said that, to be able to be on these shows, it's in their contract that they cannot have any PORN videos out there on the internet. Okay. And Mama B's also said that Britt is just looking for a quick payday. That part. And, I hate to judge people, but the fact that it's looking like you're pretty much broke according to your event that aired on our TV screen, Britt, it does kind of make it seem like you're looking for a quick come up. And it also seems like you didn't want to face the music with your cast members because, like you said, there's a lot of tension between you and your cast members. Okay. Now, let me see. So I do want to, leave some time at the end, but the next thing that I want to talk about is, have you guys seen the movie Straw? The movie Straw came out today, and I will have to wait, obviously, till I get off to watch the movie. I haven't watched it yet, but it is an amazing movie. And Taraji P. Henson, she was actually, she did an interview on The Breakfast Club this morning and, talked about the movie. And if you haven't seen that, you might want to go and watch that. She said some pretty interesting things on that movie. I'm sorry, in that interview, not movie, in the interview. Okay. And she was asked, what did she want to leave people who actually, what is the message that she wanted to leave people who's going to watch that movie? And this was like the most important thing that I personally took from the interview. And I can totally get, because I talk about this and I say this all the time on my channel, that I try to give people grace, just because you just never know what people are going through. So what she said was, we should move with grace at all times because you never know what somebody is going through. So this is the message that she wanted to give people from watching this movie. And she also said, never judge a book by its cover. Okay. So those statements kind of resonated with me, because that's what I try to do, you know, at every point in my life. I try to give people grace, and I use that term grace a lot on my platform, because, unless they do something that really, compromises their integrity or something like that, I try to give everybody grace. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say about that. And then also, guys, if you don't have any plans for this weekend, hey Cece, thank you so much for being here. If you don't have any plans for this weekend, um, I want to go ahead and say this, and then I want to leave some room at the end just for feedback, whatever the case may be. If you don't have any plans for this weekend and you just want to Netflix and chill, I have a few movie recommendations for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share those with you. And then after that, we can talk about some other things and elaborate on some other things. Okay. So the first movie that I want to recommend, just in case you haven't watched it, I did talk about it on another live, when I did reveal that Amy Allison is suing Tyler Perry, as well as Netflix and Terry J. Vaughn, over the movie She the People. So if you want a good watch, you can watch that movie. It's a comedy, it's funny, okay, and it's a Tyler Perry movie. And then also A Widow's Game. So that movie is about a young widow, and I don't want to give too much away, but she is being investigated for the murder of her husband. And that's all I'm going to say on that. It's a great watch. It's on Netflix. Check it out. And then the movie Forever. Okay. That's also a great movie. Shout out to, who was it? Sandra P. She recommended that movie, and I did have the opportunity to watch it, and it is a great movie, Forever. And then also, guys, Jenny and Georgia, they have gotten another season. So their new season has just dropped. I have been keeping up with this movie, Jenny and Georgia. It's a great watch. If you're going to Netflix and chill, it's a great watch. And then also Straw by Tyler Perry, which is starring Taraji P. Henson. Okay, so check out those movies, get you some good food, a nice drink, and just Netflix and chill. So I want to follow up and talk some more about this whole Britt Eady situation. Okay, for the rest of my time. So I'm just really not buying it. Like, why did Britt wait to the last minute to, you know, decide to sue Bravo? I think this was a solution to the fact that she didn't want to face the ladies. One thing about Britt, she wasn't built for reality TV. And we kind of noticed that right out the gate. Anytime you're threatening people with violence, like so early on, you're really outside of your comfort zone, because you should be able to do just what Angela is doing and use your tongue to get back at people. So her first instinct was to talk about violence and GUNs. So that lets me know that she's out of her league, because she should have been educated enough. She should have been just, what word I want to use? She just should have been made better decisions. So it kind of tells you the type of people that she's hanging out with because her first go to is violence. So she was just definitely out of her comfort zone being on reality TV. And then I also want to say this. It seems like she and her husband went broke trying to keep up this facade that they have money. You did not have enough money to host a very, like, yes, it was at a country club, but it was a very basic event. You couldn't pull that off, Britt. Like the very first episode, you were bragging about your, what is it, a 10-carat ring? You had this huge rock that I'm now questioning because you didn't even have enough money to pull off this basic event. So that makes me question everything you've said up until this point. Okay. So on top of that, you made a statement about Shamia's daughter. That was very lowbrow and just, you know what I'm saying? Because you, I mean, even if her daughter wasn't sick, you don't talk about people's kids. You know what I'm saying? As a flex. And you chose to talk about her sick baby. Like, who does that? Okay. So I just don't have a lot of sympathy for you, Britt. And then on top of that, another reason why you might not want to show your face is because the event decorator threw you up under the bus when she said that she's not an event planner. So the things that you try to accuse her of, they're not her responsibility. Like she has nothing to do with the food, the seating chart, all of that. She was just supposed to show up to decorate. You claim she was late. She says that she was very early, actually. So, for you to defame this woman's character and business for your own benefit because you didn't want to take accountability, that's disgusting. This woman has a business to run, and this aired on national TV. What if you affected her coins just by lying and not wanting to take accountability? Or it could be the fact you didn't want to show up because, again, your husband is being sued for damn near $10,000 because he didn't pay the country club. What makes you think that you can go and film, have a whole event, and not pay these people their invoice? Or did you do what, the typical Atlanta celebrity does? You probably thought that because this was going to be aired, you didn't feel like you owed them any money. Like you felt like you were giving them free marketing. Is that what you thought? They don't need free marketing. As a matter of fact, at most country clubs, they don't like outsiders. They like their people to come from within. They don't like all of these people being on their territory, if you want to know the truth. So you wasn't doing them any favors by giving them any free press, any free marketing by this being aired on TV. Most of the people that visit these country clubs and these golf courses, they have plenty of money. Like they don't need that. And then on top of that, they don't want to attract the wrong people. So trust me when I tell you they want to be paid, which is why you and your husband are facing a lawsuit. Okay. And when they showed up at your house to serve you with the paperwork, you pretended, you said your husband wasn't there and you didn't want to give your name. I'm pretty sure that was you, Britt Eady, because guess what? You're a kept woman, you're a housewife. And, no shade to, somebody who is a housewife and a kept woman, but the only thing with that is your husband has to have enough money for you to be a kept woman. If you're struggling to pay your bills, hence you didn't pay these people, then you need to have your ass out there with a job, making your own money because your husband cannot afford for you to be a kept woman. Okay? Or maybe you didn't want to show up because allegedly your husband, is on the DL. One of your friends and a mutual friend of you and your husband came out to reveal that he's been with your husband. Like they've had, interworkings and, some type of actual contact. So maybe you didn't want nobody to call you out because of that. You got a lot of skeletons, Britt. You got more skeletons than the damn graveyard, okay? So maybe that's really why you didn't want to show up to the reunion. And that's a part of your contract. These people pay you to show up for the reunion. When we watch these shows for an entire season, now we get to see all of the cast members come together and battle it out and tell their side of the story, because we only get to see like little clippets. Like you guys might film all day, but we might only see 15 minutes of that or maybe even less. So this is your opportunity to hash everything out and tell your story. But you decided not to do that. And I think it was because you was very intimidated about the fact that so many people got so much dirt on you. Because Phaedra also said that she knows you from being around those ATO streets. And from what she's heard, basically you're for let me see how I can clean it up. You're a high price taker, okay? From what Phaedra had to say, and I don't believe she would say that if it wasn't somewhat true. You've also admitted that, you was a webcam girl. You've admitted that you and a friend did some webcamming together, which is why you thought that that was you on that photo, even though you said that you didn't see it. And we know you didn't see it because Kenya basically kicked your ass out. She was not trying to make up. She wanted your ass up out of her facility. So you left early. So you didn't see the picture that everybody else seen. Okay. So you said that you have recently seen the picture, and it still is very questionable that you waited to the very last minute, because according to Carlos King, because he's a producer and he has his own production company, he said that when you're on reality TV, before you do the reunion, the whole cast get all of the episodes, even the ones that has not aired on TV yet. Y'all get all of the episodes so that you guys can see all of the episodes, so that you know how to clap back when somebody comes for you at the reunion. So you had already seen all of the episodes. So my question is, why now? Why did you wait till the last minute? Because nobody knew that you were not going to show up at the reunion. So that's my question to you. Why did you do it so last minute? And then my other question to you is, why would we believe that it wasn't you when nobody ever said it wasn't you? There was a lot of people at that event. So if that wasn't you, we should have been able to prove that right away. Now, let me say this. It has been said that Kenya is going to be vindicated. Okay. And that's supposed to play out on the upcoming episodes. But it has been said, I believe it was by Shamia and Kelly, that Kenya will be vindicated. So there's only two ways that Kenya can be vindicated. And Kenya could be vindicated if that photo actually wasn't you. But still, again, that wouldn't vindicate Kenya, because Kenya's question was, who is this hoe? So even if that wasn't her, Kenya, you led people to believe that it was her. And only the people that know her personally would have known that it wasn't her. So that's a little questionable. So I'm very curious to see how Kenya is going to be vindicated. But that's the word on the curb, that Kenya is going to be vindicated. So shout out to Roa, because now everybody is going to be glued to their TV screens, because we all want to know how Kenya is going to be vindicated. Because at this point, I can't see it, but maybe there's something that we can't see. So I'm waiting on that. So maybe, the views are going to go up, because everybody wants to know how Kenya is going to be vindicated. And on top of that, Kenya sounded very confident when she said that she will see us soon on Bravo. So it sounds like Kenya is coming back to Bravo, and the fact that you won't be coming back to Bravo, that opens up a seat for Kenya to get her job back. And my whole thing is, if you was not going to just, play out your entire contract and show up at the reunion, why did you make this woman lose her job? And I'm not saying that Kenya didn't do anything wrong. She absolutely did something wrong, but so did Britt Eady. So if they weren't going to take both of these women off the show, why didn't you just bow out gracefully, because you were out of your lane? And then Kenya's, the OG that she is, could have still had her job. You pretty much brought down the whole damn house, okay? Set the whole damn house on fire just to end up suing Bravo for $20 million. The same company that gave you an opportunity over a lot of other women that would have loved to be on this show, who were trying out to be on this show. Like Ming Lee. She didn't get the job. You got the job just to burn the whole damn house down. So, yes, I am a little annoyed that you did that, but we're going to watch it all play out in court, okay? Because one thing about it, you think that it was a bad look that Kenya posted that picture, but when you're talking about suing somebody for $20 million, all of your skeletons finna come out, baby. So, I hope that what these people are saying about you is not true, because at the end of the day, to keep Bravo from paying that $20 million, baby, it's all coming out. So you think that you're saving your reputation, but basically, you're just exposing all your skeletons. That's exactly what's going to happen. And I get it. 20 million. I might expose some of my skeletons too. I get it. Because at this point your reputation is ruined, and the only way to make you whole is, even if you don't get the $20 million, 5 million would be good. I'm just saying, if you end up winning this lawsuit on any level, for you, I guess it'll be worth it, because from the outside looking in, you're looking broke anyway. So what do you got to lose? That business you just started, it's not going anywhere, because now that you're not on the show, and it seems like you're out of your comfort zone, I don't see how you're going to be able to promote it. And somebody even made a statement, you wasn't even doing a lot on social media to promote yourself, so that if you didn't get signed for another season, you will be able to flourish. Like, you just wasn't doing enough. And you don't know how to read the girls. Angela is a newbie. And guess what? Angela know how to read the girls. When they start to read you, you look like a deer in headlights. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. And I be damn if somebody gonna read me and I don't handle their ass, especially if I'm on a national TV show, baby. I'm gonna read their ass for filth, because that's what I'm there to do. And you just don't know how to do that. So you look better gone. And I'm gonna end my conversation on that note, and I'm gonna end with the comments. Let me check them out. And Mama B said she just ghetto ratchet. Definitely, and definitely not made to for this show. Okay. And she done, I'm not saying that her husband didn't have money before they started this show, but he definitely ain't got none now. All those outfits that Britt was putting on, trying to look the part. Okay. I'm pretty sure this man was out of a pretty penny trying to keep Britt on this damn show. And Mama B says, what is her tagline? I am pretty and paid. That's what it sounds like. Or I'm a fashion enthusiast. Because to be honest, that's all she really got going on is, she's a fashionista from what I see. And Mama B says the whole season was a shit show. I second that motion. Hey, TNTG Mom, thank you so much for being here. And guys, I'm going to end this live on that note. So let me tell you, we got a lot. When I tell you, we are following so many lawsuits. And one other thing I want to say before I get out of here is, do you guys think that this Britt Eady interview is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back? Because this might just be what it takes. And I'm not going to speak on other platforms. Let's just speak on Bravo. This just might be what it takes for Bravo to actually show Black excellence or just excellence in general. Because this whole reality thing, like all it's getting Bravo is a whole bunch of damn lawsuits. So I believe if they dealt with a better quality of people who actually display Black excellence in their real lives and don't have to fake it, they wouldn't have to worry about all of these lawsuits because we already know, Nene done sued Bravo, Kenya has threatened to sue. And now, Britt is suing. And then also, there's somebody else on another network that I don't watch. I'm pretty sure you guys know who it was because she claimed that, she did drugs with Andy Cohen. So they got lawsuits out the wazoo. Okay. So maybe this will be the straw that broke the camel's back for them to move to better places with the Bravo network because yeah, they got insurance that covers lawsuits, but god darn, after a while their insurance is going to be so high they're not going to be able to maintain, so it's not even going to be worth it to put on these reality TV shows. Those are just my thoughts, guys. But again, we just have to wait and see how all of this plays out. Obviously, we're all excited about, the reunion. I almost feel like, if it hadn't come out that Kenya is going to be vindicated, I almost feel like not even watching the last few episodes and just wait on the reunion, you know. But it is what it is, guys. That's all I got. And if you did not like the video on the way in, please like the video on your way out. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video. It helps to push my video up into the algorithm. And also subscribe to the channel and drop down in the comments so that we can keep this conversation going. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend and bye for now.